Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are breaking down two really powerful stories about how a single, selfish choice can just spiral out of control and tear a family apart. We're going to look at how that hunger for wealth can pit sister against sister, and even a husband against his own wife. So it all kicks off with this one text message, a message that basically detonates a wedding. You got the groom at the altar, all the guests are there, and one sister, Priya, sends this bombshell to the other, Shalu. She's not just ditching her fiancé, she's completely abandoning her family, all for a shot at a richer life. And right there, that's where the first domino falls. Yeah, with just that one message, the entire family is thrown into a full-blown crisis. And this brings us to our first big theme. That critical moment, that tipping point where a family's honor is on the line, forcing them to make choices that are going to echo for years. Just think about how fast this all goes down. 1 minute, it's a wedding. The next, the family's reputation is just hanging by a thread. To avoid that public humiliation, they come up with this unthinkable plan. They pressure their younger daughter, Shalu, to marry a guy she barely even knows. It's a huge sacrifice just to save face, but you have to wonder, at what cost? But here's the crazy part. It actually works out. Against all odds, Shalu ends up finding real love and respect in a marriage that was literally born from desperation. This newfound happiness, though, is kind of like the calm before the storm, because the sister who caused all this chaos, well, she's about to make a comeback. Okay, so now let's switch gears and jump into our second story. Here, the crisis isn't some sudden explosion. No, this one is more like a quiet poison, just slowly seeping into the cracks of a marriage. So, meet Ragini. She's a woman whose every single move just seems to scream greed. She haggles over pennies, she's borrowing sugar from the neighbors, she even pockets free water bottles from parties. To her family, she's just a constant source of embarrassment. But is that really the whole story? In both of these stories, what we're really seeing is just a performance. Underneath the whole runaway bride act and the penny-pinching wife routine, there are these hidden motives and layers of deception that we are about to peel right back. So 6 months after she bolted from her own wedding, Priya shows up again. On the surface, she's playing the part of the sorry sister who just wants to make things right. But the reality? She sees Shalu's happy life, the life that she thinks should have been hers, and she is just consumed by jealousy. Her return has nothing to do with forgiveness. It's a cold, calculated plot to get exactly what she wants. And she is absolutely methodical about it. She starts by, coincidentally, joining her brother-in-law's gym, to get into that inner circle. Then she starts working on the mother-in-law, showering her with all this fake affection. And the final piece? She uses a minor injury as the perfect excuse to move in and start her takeover, all while pretending to be the super caring sister. And this brings us right back to Ragini. Her greed seems so obvious, right? But what if, just like Priya, her actions are just a mask? What if the person who looks like the villain is actually the victim? Okay, so before we get to the big reveal here, we need to talk about something called financial abuse. Now, this isn't just about someone being cheap. It's a really serious form of control, where one person forces another to behave a certain way with money, and it often leads to a lot of isolation and shame. Just keep that in mind as we get back to Ragini's story. So after being shamed by her family one too many times, Ragini finally just breaks. She confesses everything. Her penny pinching, her arguing with shopkeepers, it's all been because her husband, Vinod, has been forcing her to do it just so he can save his own salary. All this time, she's been his scapegoat. And with that one confession, that's when all the lies start to completely fall apart. This brings us to the moment of truth in both our stories, where the masks finally come off and the deception just can't hold up any longer. First up, Shalu finally stands up to Priya. After Priya tries to manipulate the family one last time, Shalu just calls out the incredible hypocrisy of it all. She throws Priya's own selfish betrayal from the wedding day right back in her face, exposing all that fake concern for what it really is. And this